Míralo.
Welcome to One More Drink.
I can't even breathe. Jesus Christ. Alright, what's up? What's up, guys? This is One More Drink, and I am Sandra, and today I have Kelise. How's everyone doing today? How are you doing today?
I'm doing fabulous.
How many drinks is that, Kelise?
This is 3.
I'm shaking. My butt is shaking.
After Sandra dropped 2. Before
No.
even started.
If that's the case, then that's like 4. I dropped...
You dropped 2.
But you drank 1 prior. That's 3.
I drank 2 at the restaurant.
Oh.
Yeah. That's how One More Drink is starting today.
Yeah, it's been a couple technical difficulties to start, but we're here, and that's what matters. So, today we are talking about toxicity and all its forms, and have we been toxic, and have we dealt with toxicity? So, to begin, what is toxic behavior?
I think toxic behavior could be different, like, depending on the person. But toxic behavior to me is, like, when you're just, like, doing the most. Like, you're just, like... How do I explain it? Maybe just not being a nice person. Like,
To someone?
Yeah, to someone. I'm talking about, like, though, like, in an intimate relationship. Like, being toxic as in the form of, like, you're not letting your partner go out. You're not letting your partner, like, be their own person.
Yeah, I was going to say,
like,
it's almost like you're not letting them be, like, their best self.
Yeah, like, you're not letting them be their best self just because of, like, your own insecurities. Like, that's toxic. And I feel like it's mad normalized in, like, today's society, and that's really just not normal. Like, it's not normal to not be able to be your own person when you're in a relationship.
I feel like that kind of has to do with, like, social media. I feel like that's brought that kind of insecurity along. But that's a whole nother topic, honestly.
Yeah. But I think that's toxic. Like, I don't, like...
Well, let's Google what the definition is. Are they going to picture someone when you Google it?
A picture of her ex.
Woo! Which one?
All of them.
Really not. All 2. What is toxic behavior? Toxic behavior... Toxic behavior definition refers to a person whose behavior and ongoing actions cause harm to other people by physical or mental means.
Yeah, so you're causing harm to someone, yeah.
Physically or mentally. Like, you could be toxic physically or mentally.
No, for sure. Physically, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, physically for sure. So, like...
But I feel like it's the mental one that gets, like,
the mental
overlooked.
one is what be having you messed up, I feel like, even more than physically, which sounds crazy.
I feel like that's what toxic means. Like, yeah, you're just toxic, like, mentally. Like, you think crazy. Like...
Yeah, but it literally says it could be both, like physical, like
physical,
like someone, for example, I mean, not to get too into depth, but like with domestic violence, like someone who like belittles you and makes you feel like I'm stronger than you, like you can't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I feel like someone could also do that mentally.
No,
you know
absolutely,
I mean?
yeah.
Like, just belittling you in literally every sense, like just like
making you feel like worthless, so
like
you think like you have
making you
to
feel
stay
like they're
there.
better than you, and like that, like if you leave, you're never gonna find anything better, and like no one's gonna want you, and like
I promise you, babe, you'll always find better.
You'll literally always, like, there's a million men in this world. Like,
I feel like we forget that there's
a few of them are better, I promise you. Like,
how many people are in the world now? I want to say we're at 8 billion now.
I
Probably.
think it was...
Like,
yeah,
you can find a man that...
But to me, it's like those
right.
billions are like little kids. You can't really count.
That's true. We have to count how many men of this age bracket there
that's
are.
another thing, too. Men and boys are 2 completely different stories.
Yeah, and if you're dealing with boys, then you're always going to have this problem.
Always going to have this problem. But I also feel like if you're dealing with men, you could also have that problem.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of men that...
But then are they really men or are they boys?
That's what I'm saying. But, like, I know, like, people that are older than me that, like, are in their 30s. Obviously, those are men. Those are grown men.
Yeah.
And they're still acting like children. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. That makes sense. Okay, so, going on. Have you experienced it before? I'll start. Because you're like, oh my God. On the hot seat. Have I experienced someone being toxic to me? Yes. But I almost, I'm trying to think of like an example for me, like experiencing toxic. I want to say like gaslighting, like making you think like like you're fucking insane about what you're saying,
100%.
and it's like, no, like I'm not a fucking dumb bitch, like that is right. But in that moment, you really do think like,
No,
you
100%.
second guess yourself, like, no, am I bugging? Like, could he be
100%.
like, for
When
real?
someone's gaslighting you, you're literally like, you're sitting there like, and they're so good at it that they're like making you like, oh, like I'm really bugging, like.
And also,
maybe,
you want to believe that person because you love them, so obviously
yeah, and you
it's
don't,
gonna fuck
and
you
like,
up.
if you just believe them and you're like, okay, like they're not doing this, it hurts less. But at the end of the day, like it's like, no, they're really doing that. Like there's been 100 times where I've been in situations where like I have the straight up proof, and a man has been like, no, like I didn't do that, and it's like, no, bro, you did do that. And why? And like looking back on it now, like at the place I am now, I'm just like, bro, like I could never ever again in my life, like, take it literally, like take it as it is. Like if someone's doing you dirt and like being toxic, that's exactly what it is, and nothing more, nothing less. Like you shouldn't be dealing with it. Like that's what, because I feel like in a lot of my like past toxic relationships, like I always like, oh, like no, like maybe they're not meaning to, like no, they know exactly what they're doing, they know exactly what they're saying, they know exactly what they're lying about. Like take everything for what it is. Like,
and even going off that, even if that was the case, like they're going through stuff and that's the reason why, that's still no excuse to do it to you. Like you don't have to sit there and deal with that.
Just because someone is going through something gives them no right to be a piece of shit to you. Like
exactly. And that's something that
not.
like you have to like literally instill in your head.
Yeah, like it's one thing if people have bad days. We all have bad days. We all go through stuff, but that doesn't like grant being a shitty person in a relationship consistently.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, or
if the majority is shitty, and then it's like those couple good days. It's like don't fucking hold on to those, because you should be holding on to like the million good days. Like those two bad days are like, okay, fine.
Exactly. Like you should be able to go to sleep at night and be like, wow, like we have all these good memories. Like not laying in bed at night and be like, damn, bro, like I'm trying to hold on to this one memory where we're like, we had a good day here and had a good day there. Like, no, that's not how it's supposed to be. Like, that's not normal at all.
Yeah. Okay. Going on. If so, how did you handle it? Well, we kind of just said how we handled it.
I would say I handled it by, like, leaving.
Okay, but in that moment...
After years.
But in that moment...
After years.
You didn't.
No, in that moment, it was more like, honestly, I feel like the way I used to react to toxic behaviors was me being toxic back.
Okay, so you were toxic back.
No, for sure. 100%.
No, for sure.
100%. I'm not saying I was right, but that was just how I handled it in the moment.
Yeah.
Like,
but you're saying now,
I feel like
that was, you could have just left. You didn't have to do it.
Yeah, like it could have just been like, all right, bro, like you want to treat me this way, like goodbye.
Yeah, instead of like feeding into it.
Yeah, it was more like me being toxic back and arguing and screaming and doing the most and like being rude, and it's just like, who was getting anything out of that? No one. Like no one. Now both parties are just like, yeah, like fuck you. Like
yeah, and that you're not getting anywhere with that.
And both are just like mentally drained now and annoyed, and like it's just like, why feed into someone's negative energy? Like you don't have to be negative because someone else is being negative.
Yeah.
It's just like.
I would say what I did was leave eventually as well. Though you always stay.
Eventually, I don't like.
But I feel like you only do that once. Like you learn like you have that relationship where it teaches you that. And then it's like, you don't do it again. And if you are doing it again, then you are, now you are the problem because you're letting it happen. Like, you know the signs and you're still doing it.
Yeah, no, I definitely did it twice.
But what's that saying?
But I also only did it twice. Because the first time I was really young. The second time, I was like...
You knew better?
The second time, I definitely knew better. I just didn't do better. And I'll sit here and admit it. I don't, like...
What's that saying? It's like the first time, shame on you. The second time, shame on me.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely was shame on me. But now I feel like I'm at a point where I'm just like, like literally never again in my life. Like, I'll die alone before I get into another toxic relationship. Like,
period.
Like, I know every single sign. Like, it's not happening. Like,
I refuse.
It's a no for me.
Do you think you have toxic behavior / tendencies?
I definitely have toxic behavior / tendencies, but I think everyone does.
What would you say are like, name like 2 that you have?
What were we saying before?
Well, for me, I could say, like, this is something I've worked on, but you can slowly slip back into it, but it's being codependent on a man. It's like,
yeah.
For example, it's like you getting out of work at 4 and he gets out at 7 and you're sitting there waiting until he gets out. You haven't, like, your only plans is, oh, I'm going to go see him after he gets out of work. Like,
yeah.
Whereas, like, you're going to go, like, you're not going to do anything in between. Like, you're not doing anything for yourself. Like, you're just dependent on him. It's like you're waiting for him to text you like, oh yeah, we're about to hang out, like pull up. It's like, okay, great, like I'm ready, let's go.
That's another thing that like it's like a toxic behavior you fall into. Like you feel like you can't be yourself in your relationship. Like, but that's not even like your part. Like if you guys are in a healthy relationship, like
that could be nothing to do with him. That's you being
just a toxic tendency. Like you're
Yeah.
just like falling into like wanting to be with your significant other so much, and it's like that can become toxic for both of you guys.
Yeah, because then
Like-
you might be thinking like, well, what's the problem? Like I just want to spend the time with him.
Yeah.
But like eventually he's gonna get to the point where he feels suffocated, and then he's
Yeah.
gonna
Or
not
vice
want to hang out
versa.
with you. And yeah, exactly.
Like or vice versa, because there's men that are like that too, that like just want to be around 24/7, and then
And it's like-
feel suffocated.
Like go be with your friends, and then it's like,
Yeah.
oh, at this point you probably don't even have that many close friends because
Yes,
you've been hanging
because
out
you're
with him
hanging out
so
with me
much and not prioritizing other relationships.
Yeah, and then that's where it just becomes like.
And then now
That's
at
where
this
literally,
point,
like the toxic tendencies become toxic, like
Yeah.
to your relationship.
all those little things literally have like a trickle down effect, and you end up here where it's like you feel friendless. Now your man doesn't want to hang out with you, and you're like, what the fuck
and
is
now
going
you're
on in
alone,
my
and
life?
it's sad and just.
And it's like,
damn, bro.
It's because of all these little things that added up to
Yeah.
it.
Relationships are crazy.
So definitely
Honestly.
and I would say probably like not hang out with my friends as often. But like those are things that now I definitely do work on. It's like
You
I'm not about to
notice,
do
like,
that.
you
Yeah.
notice them.
Yeah. And it's like the same way that you prioritize your man. Obviously like your man might be like a little bit more up there, but you should always prioritize your friends, I feel like just as much. Like or
Because
hanging
God
out with
forbid
them.
that relationship ends, like your friends are gonna be the ones that are there for you. Like
Exactly, yeah.
I think what I'm okay. I think I don't know if this is my number one toxic tendency, but this is what's in my head right now. One of my toxic tendencies is that I'm so like untrustworthy. Like someone can literally be like showing me the moon and the stars, like giving me proof that like they're the best person in the world, and I'm still like, yeah, no, can't trust you. Don't want to be with you. Don't like, just stop. Like you're giving me an ick. Like, but it's like that's so toxic. Like they could be great. Like,
but you know what it could be too? Like some people say like if you're not turning your head, maybe it's because like they're not meant for you. Like the right person would like you would actually listen to the right person. It could be
I
that
know what
too.
you mean, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like I could have had mad right persons, and I was just like, damn, nah, like off rip, like I don't even trust you, bro. Like I don't even know
Like, you
you're
didn't
on the
bother.
wall. Like I don't even trust you.
Yeah.
Like that's toxic. Like why do I not trust you because of what someone else did to me? Like
Yeah,
that's
like
not
you
your
think,
fault, bro. Like
Yeah, yeah. Because you can't assume that everyone's going to do the same thing.
yeah, because it's just like why? Like there's like we were saying before, like there's 8 billion people in this world. There's a few good men out there. Like
There's not 8 billion men, though. No, I'm kidding.
there's not 8 billion men, but there's a few. Like there has to be a few good men out there, and it's just like
No, for
again,
sure. Honestly, probably the majority are
good.
good. And then
I don't know.
Okay.
Majority might be pushed.
I would say we probably have like 40% bad. Then we have like
You think 60% are good?
no. I'm gonna say like 30% are amazing and 30% are like decent. They could do better. Like they need to grow,
They're
but
there.
everyone needs to grow. Like I can't sit here and be
No,
like, "Well, I'm
yeah.
perfect." That actually might be another toxic tendency of
Yeah.
mine. I do think that
You
I have no
have-
fucking flaws. Like
Right.
I'm doing the fucking damn
I'm
thing.
perfect and I'm doing everything well, so I'm really not sure where you think that I'm.
But like
perfect.
sometimes I fall into that where I just think I'm like right. Like no, like I'm not. And sometimes I have to be like, or like my partner has to tell me like, no, you dummy, like da da da, and I'm like, oh
Like,
yeah,
you're
you're right,
wrong,
you're right,
bro.
you're right. But I don't see it until sometimes maybe like someone points it out.
Yeah. Another toxic tendency of mine, actually, I just thought of. I like to go straight to yelling and like raising.
Oh
my
whoa,
voice.
Oh, yeah.
you are fucking throwing red flags.
No. But I'm aware of it, and it's not even like I really mean to most of the time. Like, I'm naturally loud, so I feel like I'm literally just naturally loud. So when I get mad, I'm like raising my voice, but I know like it's the worst thing ever. Like we shouldn't be screaming at each other.
No, but you know what? I do
know
get
what I
that because
But,
when I
like-
speak, I'm loud too.
Yeah, like I'm literally naturally loud. So like if I'm mad, like I'm raising my voice unintentionally. Like I do it like in every aspect of life. Like whether I'm talking to my father, like my siblings, anyone.
Yeah.
Like I'm raising my voice, and that's literally so toxic. Like I don't need to be raising my voice to get my point
That might be the
across.
Spanish in you.
Like
I do that on the
I think
phone
it
at
is.
work.
No, I
I'll
think
be
it is.
like I feel like if I get louder, someone hears me better.
Right.
No,
And it's
yeah.
like, no, they're hearing you
no.
the
like,
same.
You can be just as stern at like the same level.
Yeah.
But when I'm
Maybe
mad,
that's my toxic trait right now. I'm still
Yeah.
working on that.
but when I'm mad, like I want to scream. Like I want to scream in your face, and it's like, bro, like you don't need to do all that. Like,
But you know, that could also be like just maybe like handled like anger issues that you have. Like, so when you get angry, you get angry fast, and it's like you just want to scream.
Yeah, no, that too. I don't know.
We're all like that.
I don't know. Yeah. No, I'm not all fucked up. Honestly, I think I'm doing great.
Yes.
Like I deadass think I'm doing great, but that definitely is something I need to work on because I'd be raising my voice way too fast. Like in mad small situations, like where people have to be like, "Yo, relax." Like
it's like lower your voice.
Yeah, like lower your voice, bro.
But honestly, sometimes that could be a trigger. It's like
I'm not even talking loud, bro.
And then it's like, did you just hear yourself? You were screaming, and it's like, oh yeah, you're right.
Literally, or like when someone's like, "Why do you have an attitude?" Like I didn't, but now I do.
Okay, what is the most toxic thing you have done?
Nah, because you might have to go first, bro.
I really have to think about this. We should have thought our answers prior, but
I know what the most toxic
thing is.
No. I know what the most toxic thing I've done is, but it's crazy.
I feel like I really do have to sit here and think of what the most toxic thing I've done.
I'm only thinking because it's like, damn, this is about to be on social media forever.
I have.
Turns like, oh, I got one too.
I don't even know if it's toxic though, or if it's just.
Can I say multiple?
But is crazy toxic? Or is that kind of like same category?
I think so. Is it? I don't know. Is crazy toxic?
Toxic?
Is crazy toxic? Like, if you're crazy, do you have to be toxic? Or, I don't know.
Okay.
One too, because I think mine is just crazy and it's not toxic.
I don't know.
I'll say one. I'm going to, generalize it, though. But probably, I'm going to generalize it so it's like no one can be like, oh, it's about this person and blah, blah. I feel like... Okay, so... Maybe, in a relationship, I would have played victim and made that person feel like the bad guy, when in reality, they weren't being the bad guy. I just, didn't want to be with that person. So it's almost my excuse to, not be there.
You want to make them feel bad.
It's no, you did that. It could be, the smallest thing where you kind of, blow it out of proportion, so it's they're at fault, and it's yeah, fuck you, and that's why I don't want to be with you. Yeah. And it's
nah, they weren't doing nothing wrong.
It's more, it was reasonable. I understand. I could see where you could do that, right. But I just turned it around in my benefit, basically.
I don't know, but I've done a lot of toxic things, honestly.
But what's the most?
I'm going to say a few, and you could pick one. I'll tell you which one to pick. Because there's a lot of things going through my mind. I don't know, bro. Maybe I'm just toxic. I swear to God, I'm getting better. But I'm just...
She just said that she had nothing to work on. She was doing great.
It's all going through my mind. I'm like, damn, why did I do these?
But if that was before, then you wouldn't consider that now, though. That's just something you've done in the past.
No, but it's just damn, why did I even do that? I feel like that now because I've grown. And it's just damn, that's so embarrassing that I ever acted that way.
Yeah, because if anything, you'd be saying it and I did this because it was the right thing to do.
I don't know. I think the most toxic thing I ever did was...
I don't know what you're going to say, but I'm just waiting.
I'm going to say two.
Okay.
One of the most toxic things I ever did was when I was in a relationship or whatever. I literally, would, call my ex's phone 100 times. And when I say 100 times, I'm not exaggerating. I mean 100 times. And blow up his phone to the point where he would literally just have to turn it off. And
You sound crazy.
That's toxic.
Yeah, disgusting. Being crazy is toxic. But would you do it, what was the reason? Did you do it for no reason? Were you trying to be,
if we
annoying?
were arguing. No, if we were arguing. It would just be like that. And it's just ew, that makes me so sick to my gut.
But I think what makes you sick is that you were, almost chasing, a guy, trying to get him to answer.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean?
That and, just the fact that I would never do that now. It's embarrassing. And annoying.
Yeah.
Never again in my life. If you're young and you're watching this, that toxic boy in your life is not worth it.
No, he's not. Your baby dad, he's not your life. He's none of them.
He's not going to be there next year, sweetie.
Unless you make him there, but he shouldn't be there. And that's why you're still going through all these fucking you shouldn't have trials and tribulations.
You shouldn't have to be...
because he's not supposed to be there.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to be making him be there. The right person will be there peacefully.
Yeah.
That's definitely something I've learned. The right person will be there peacefully. Maybe not 100% peacefully. Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah, I was like, what is she doing?
Maybe not 100% peacefully. Like, there's always gonna be problems in any
like,
relationship. But it doesn't need to be toxic. Like, there's a healthy way to argue and communicate. And it doesn't need to be screaming at each other and blowing each other's phone up and blocking each other. And
I saw someone saying it's like you can have
most.
arguments, but there should always still be a level of respect when you're arguing. You should never be disrespecting each other.
Or calling each other names. Like, that's not normal. You shouldn't be calling your significant other out of their name. And doing the most and, like, threatening to, like, block them. And, like why are we doing all this? Like, because at the end of the day, we're still going to speak tomorrow. And we're still going to be in a relationship tomorrow. And if we're doing all this, then maybe we shouldn't be speaking tomorrow.
Yeah. Or, like, maybe we need to grow and then come back and revisit
together. And that
because
happens. Like, you can grow apart from someone and find each other later on in life. Like, sometimes you're literally just young and don't know any better. And you're just, like, going through the motions. Like, that's also life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if, like, you're continuously toxic.
There's no change.
And, like, you're not learning from,
if the relationship is only going like this and, like, you haven't grown and learned and gotten better and things are, like, improving and you're like, wow, like, we did so good with this situation, it's like, it's always the same.
Because everyone makes mistakes. Like, no relationship is going to be perfect. But if you're going to continue to do these toxic things and you're going to talk about them and then do it again and talk about them, and, like, nothing's changing. Like, we're not going anywhere.
Oh my god, I just thought of a good one.
You know what I mean?
Bringing up shit from the past. That's another toxic trait. I used to do that. I'm much better, but that'd be something that I'd be with the quickness, really, because and I'd be like, why are you bringing that up? Because I thought we got past that.
I agree. I used to do that too,
and it's
but
like,
I think it's like it's just like your first instinct, like oh, you
but
did this,
it shouldn't be.
Yeah, it shouldn't be. I used to do shit like that too.
Exactly. That's the thing. If you can't forget about it, then that means you guys need to let each other go because you're not going to be moving forward.
You're never gonna if someone did something that bad to you, where you could forgive them, right? But it's still there and you're not forgetting, and, like, every single time something happens that you get that, like, feeling in your stomach where, like, damn, they did this. Or
it's
you go
not
out
even, like, what they did, but if they said something as well.
Yeah.
Because words speak
loud.
Words
speak
like,
way louder than action. I mean,
and then it's like, oh, it's like, damn, like...
Whoa, put the drink down.
Actions speak way louder than words.
No,
but words hurt too.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So words fucking hurt the shit. Like,
words hurt too. And
sometimes you thought of that, like, you really think of that of me.
Yeah.
So it's like, damn.
But that's where it goes, like, name calling. Like, we should not be name calling each other at all.
We shouldn't be name calling. We shouldn't be saying out of pocket shit.
Once it comes to that
when you argue with your best friend, do you sit there and be like, you stupid bitch, you fucking, like, you corn ass? Like, you never say none of that. It's like, you're pissing me off right now because you said this, and this.
Or, like, you're just being annoying.
Whenever, like, well, that's why you're a hoe, and that's why you're this, and you're corny, and this.
But you know
what?
Never. Honestly,
it should be the same thing in a relationship.
Yeah, but you know what? Honestly, men are the first people to go to the name calling.
Absolutely. And you know what that is?
Yo, I don't do the name.
You're immature.
Yeah,
and
immature,
you're corny.
You're insecure.
You don't know how to communicate. Literally, that's what that is.
Immature, insecure, corny, and a bum.
Like, period.
All
just end the episode.
Like,
no, I'm kidding.
Like, why? Because it's usually men. Like, never when I've been in a relationship and I'm arguing, am I like, you're a bitch.
I feel like I definitely used to do that. I used to be
that was your favorite word.
No,
I'm such a healed woman.
No, yeah. Honestly, suck my dick used to be my favorite, bro. I'd be like, suck my fucking dick.
Yeah.
100 times.
That's
too,
like,
bro.
honestly, like, so disrespectful to say.
It is so disrespectful.
And I never, but maybe it's like, I don't know, being like young, like, it was almost like just slang. Like, oh, it's like my dick. But it's like, when you're arguing, like, you cannot just
when
say
you're arguing and you're mad and you're saying with your chest, bro. It's definitely not the right
thing. Like, I feel like I've literally probably said, like, choke on it and die before. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Nah, that's insane.
But
toxic.
That's not my vocabulary anymore. If I do say it, it's like joking around, like,
yeah.
But I say it like friendly. Like, before I used to really say that shit with my chest. That's not okay.
That's literally toxic shit. Like, it's not normal.
Alright. What is some advice you can give to listeners from your own experiences? Let's end it off on a positive.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
If you feel like you're in a toxic situation, honestly, the best thing to do, even if, like, it's not permanent, but just for your peace of mind, just remove yourself, even if it's taking a break and, like, gathering your... Because, honestly, time, like, brings the most clarity, like, 100%. Possible. Like, you even having, like, just a week to, like, really just be in your own thoughts, because I feel like that's how I am. Like, when I get into an argument... I almost like, I kind of like shut down and I stay quiet, but it's because I sit there and I like to really think of what I'm going to say before I say something that I don't mean. Because it's like tomorrow I'm like, no, that didn't make sense. Like, why was I saying that? I didn't mean it.
Like, resonate in your own thoughts, bro.
Yeah.
And I think, too, something I've learned, like, just, like, growing up, I used to tell a lot of people around me, like, what I was going through in my relationship, right? Sometimes, like, it's hard to keep shit to yourself, like, especially if, like, you're going through it or whatever, but sometimes you really need to just sit in your own thoughts. Like, no one else's opinion.
That's
no
really
one
big,
else's,
to be honest.
no one else's words, like, nothing. Just what you feel in literally your soul. Like, is this right for me or is it not right for me? Because sometimes, like, other people's opinions, they're going off of, like, what they went on in their life, and they might not even give you the best advice. Like, they might be like, oh, like, just forgive him or forgive her, and it's just, like, sometimes you really just need to, like, what do I want deep down? Like, is this what I want for my life?
You need to do literally
like,
what you feel is best for you.
What you feel is best for you. Like, no one's ever going to be able to tell you what's best for you. That's why, like, people say, like, oh, like, stop trying to save her from that toxic relationship. Like, when she's ready to go, she'll go. Like, no one's ever going to be able to tell someone, like, leave that relationship. Like, you could say it 100 times.
But if they're not ready,
if they're not ready to leave that relationship, they're not going to leave.
But that's why I feel like it goes back to, like, giving yourself space to really think. Like, if you genuinely feel like this is right and it could change and blah, 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 then by all means stay in it. But, like, that time is going to give you, like, the clarity to be like, no. And you'll actually see with time, you'll probably be like, wow, like, I'm perfectly fine. I'm standing. I don't feel like I need him. Like, I was completely bugging.
No,
like,
literally.
I was over here thinking, like, I couldn't live without him. And it's like, no, you're that's perfectly fine.
Another thing, like, too, like, before you got into that relationship, you were living without that person. Like, it's obviously harder now because you got used to this person or whatever.
You were
comfortable. But, like, at one point in life, you lived without that person. Like, you're gonna live and breathe without that person, whether they're there or not. And obviously, like, all of that is easier said than done. But, like, I promise.
Every woman has probably gone through it.
Yeah,
so.
every woman, even
it's
men,
almost like giving birth.
Men go through heartbreak too.
It.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just like, at what point is your happiness, like, more important than, like, being miserable? Literally, like, miserable. Or being in a toxic situation. Or, like, being screamed at and being called names. Like, I promise there's happiness and better out there. Like, you might find out you're happier alone. Like,
yeah. And honestly, it's okay to be alone. Like, if that comfort that you feel like needing, having someone else, you don't need that. Like you said, you could be alone. My dad literally, he always used to tell me, when I would be, like, not even in a relationship, but, like, I'd be too scared to, like, go do something. He's like, well, can you come with me to go do it? He'd be like, you were literally born alone. What do you need me for?
yeah, you can
like,
find...
you can do it all on your own. You were literally born alone. Like, obviously, my mom pushed me out, but I was born alone.
You can find...
Unless I had a twin, then, I don't know. I can't give you advice.
I wish I had a twin.
You go talk to your twin. She knows. Or he knows.
You can find all that comfortness and, like, love in yourself. Like, and it seriously sounds way harder in the moment, and, like, no, like, I'm never gonna be able to live without them, but, like, I swear to God you are. Like,
yeah.
Like, you are. Like, that relationship you're in, like, however old you are, 16, 17, 18, 19, like, unless you're really putting in the effort to make it work,
and you'll realize
one day you're gonna live without that person. Like,
you'll realize in a healthy relationship, you don't get the feeling of, like, oh my God, I can't live without this person. You literally get the feeling of, oh my God, I want this person in my life.
Yeah.
Instead of, like, oh my God, I need this person. Like, I don't sit here and think, oh my God, I just need him, I need him, I need him. Like, literally, I will be perfectly fine. I want this person to share all the life and happiness that I have with.
Like, I need him. You shouldn't need someone. You should want them.
Exactly.
You shouldn't feel like you need someone to be around you 24/7. You should want them to be involved in, like, your life and what you're doing. Like, again, like, I swear, like, it's so normalized and literally toxic that, like, everyone, like, society, the way society makes it, like, you shouldn't need your partner. Like,
no, not at all.
Everyone should be able to be their own individual person.
It almost, like, kind of, like, what's the word where, like, it, like, fucks up the way you look at, like, love. It's like, no, but I the way, like, to be in love, I need this person, I can't live without them. Like, no, that's not love. That's fucking, like, obsession.
Yeah,
like,
it's like obsession. You should want, obviously you want your partner, you want to be around your partner, but you should never feel like, oh my God, I'm gonna die without them.
No.
Like, because literally the world could end tomorrow. Like, anything.
That means that you have codependency
like,
issues.
anything is possible, bro. Like, you can live without that person. Like, you have to feel like you can live without that person because it could end any day. And then what? You know what I mean? It sucks to say, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like that's just how I feel also. But.
No, but honestly, I think we did a great job.
That's being therapeutic.
Yeah, I mean, but it takes, honestly, like,
it takes a lot.
Everyone has to go through it, unfortunately.
Like, you do.
Unless you, like, see it maybe firsthand where you can kind of, like, experience it that way. But, like, I wouldn't be so wise if I didn't go through it and, like, now I know better.
No, literally, you literally have to go through it, and it sucks.
But if you're going through it, this is, like, the wake-up call to, like...
Yeah, like, take a step back.
And really
and be
look
like,
at
you
that.
know what? Like, there's thousands of females that went through the same thing I did, you know what I mean? They're living. They're happy. They're better off alone. And I used to see things like that and be like, no, like, they're just dragging it on social media. Like, no, like, now, like, where I'm at, I'm like, yo, I'm genuinely happy. Like, I feel great.
Yeah.
Like, just going on my day-to-day alone. Like, not having to answer anyone. Like, not having to be toxic and argue and do the most. And, like, oh, I'm going here with my friends and it being a problem, you know what I mean? Like, that's not normal. Like,
yeah,
it's not. But it sucks because, like...
Yeah, and your man should not be dictating where you go, and you shouldn't be dictating where he goes either. It's both ways. It's not like, well, I can do whatever I want, but he can't go this. Like, why can he not do that? And if you don't trust him to go do that, then you shouldn't be with him. Like...
Yeah. It sucks because you literally just sometimes have to go through it. And it's really the emotions of life. Because I wouldn't be here thinking what I'm thinking if I didn't go through everything I went through. That's why, like, I'm just, like, sometimes, like, I'm like, I don't even regret it. Like, I wouldn't be where I'm at, like, at 21 years old, having the mindset I did if I didn't go through all that. You know what I mean?
You're such a baby. She's 21.
Freshly 21, guys.
Yes.
Not freshly.
Unfortunately.
Listen, I be hanging out with everyone, okay? Everyone's jocking me. I don't act 21.
No,
I don't act like your average 21-year-old, okay?
No, because she wouldn't be here.
I guess.
Period.
No, yeah, I wouldn't. I don't act like the average 21-year-old. Some people my age, that's another topic.
Let's not diss anyone.
I'll be acting out of pocket.
But you know what, honestly, when you're young, though, like, that is just how you act, you know what I mean? Like, you're just... You really do have it. Like, your frontal lobe literally just hasn't finished growing. Like, I can't even blame you. Like...
You can't.
But
also, yeah, men's, like, frontal lobes don't finish growing until, like, they're, like, 30, so.
I'm jacking 40.
Y'all are a problem.
Anyway.
See, that's toxic. Y'all are
Yeah, but no, not that. We shouldn't even be saying that. Like, that's toxic behavior right there. Stop doing that.
Stop saying men are the problem, because not all men are the problem.
Yeah.
Some women are.
Yeah, that's very true.
Most men, but... most men, some women. But it's definitely not 50-50. It's definitely more men than women.
That's toxic behavior right there.
That is toxic behavior.
But I'm going to go by every situation. It's situational. Well, on that note, it's been a pleasure, please. Thank you for being here.
On that note, it was a great episode. I hope y'all learned from something.
Yeah, I hope we weren't just rambling and talking the same thing over and over again. Like, you actually, like, learned at least something in substance. If not, then, at least thank you for listening to our voices and watching us if you're watching.
Thanks for watching.
Stay tuned for next Thursday, and thank you guys for watching. Bye.
Peace.